Hello everybody, and welcome back to ESA Summer 21. If you didn't know already, we are saving money for Save the Children. Links to donate can be found below the stream or in chat by writing !donate. We'd also like to thank our sponsors Twitch and ViewSonic. And now friends, we're continuing this mini horror block here. Coming up next is Silent Hill 3 by Mr. Mech Squeezy. Yeah, show us around in Silent Hill, sir.
Sure thing. Hello. Yeah, so as Zanara said there, yeah, I'm Mr. McSqueezy. Hello, everybody. I'm going to be showing you the extra new game category. Now, this category is extremely fun, and there are a absolute ton of glitches, and you're about to see 3 in very, very quick succession. For those of you that don't know the story of Silent Hill 3, what we're doing is we are just starting out in a mall, you know, as you do, as a regular teenager. We're going to be trying to make our way home. Now, Heather is not a fan of sort of traditional transport, so we're going to make our own transport and go in and out of areas. So...
Did the timer already start, by the way?
Oh, sorry, yes. Sorry, I completely forgot. Should I restart, or do you want me to keep going? I completely forgot the time.
Yes, you can quickly restart. We're just like a few seconds in. Yeah, don't worry about it. It happens to the best of us.
I've been doing so many reset runs recently. Okay, sorry. I'll do the countdown now. So we're starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time.
Good luck.
Thank you. So, is that the first reset you guys have had at ESA, out of interest?
I am actually not sure. Somebody tell me, and I will forward it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, that was always my goal to get a reset in on an event, so that was pretty cool. So yes, we are playing Silent Hill 3. We are going to play ourselves the extra new game category, the very, very glitchy category. And we've got a few skips coming up quite quickly. Now, some of these skips were actually found fairly recently, as in sort of 6-7 months ago. The first one's coming up. But before we do the first skip, we actually have to pay a little bit of tax. So what we're going to do is we're going to visit our lovely, lovely bread store, and we're going to do pay the bread tax. This is actual strats in the run. You have to pay the bread tax. It's not, but this is an actual strat. What we're doing is we're going to be abusing quick save, quick load here. And the reason we do this for this area is to sort of just make this guy come and grab us. And the screen's going to go a bit funky. So what we're doing now is we are going to push ourselves out of bounds using the monster. And hopefully, if I've done this right, I should have gone through the wall. I did. We're now going to quick save and quick load again. And we're going to be at the end of the mall. So normally for the mall, what you do is you'd fight a boss called Split One, and you'd go pick up some items, you'd pick up some stuff like that. We just completely bypass it. Except we're kind of going back to the mall. This is a very, very interesting category now. Normally you'd assume now that we're in the subway, we can proceed and go home, but no. We are actually forgetting one key item. The key item we're forgetting is the flashlight. We need the flashlight to actually activate key items. You can activate items like handgun bullets, health drinks. You can pick those up without the flashlight, with a particular light source. But you do need the flashlight to proceed. And we'll come up to our second skip now. 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we're doing in the second skip is we're actually going to go and use a particular glitch called the Princess Heart glitch. And what that involves us doing is using this little tool here to push us through. Now we need to do this on a transition phase. So as we go up and down these stairs, what we do here is we just try and time it right, and we'll get through eventually. Now this looks like it could be pretty good. It's not quite good. This is a very awkward skip to do first try. This is like 5th try now, but we're going to get there eventually. There we are. So we are through. We're going to quick save and quick load. this run has a lot of crashes in it, in the out of bounds. So what we did there, we quick save, quick loaded there, because if we don't quick save, quick load, and we move, what happens is we actually end up crashing the game, and that's not very good. We've already reset once in this marathon, so we're not going to reset again, don't worry. We're going to pick up a few items, and we're going to do another Princess Heart skip as well. Now, I'm actually quite gutted that I didn't let the Princess Heart costume transformation play out, because it's a pretty cool transformation. But we've got another one coming up. Maybe I'll play a little bit of it for you. But yeah, this is our third skip now coming up, and then we're done with more for good. Just got to climb up the ladder first. So these two skips we've just done, the Princess Heart skips, they are frame specific, and they are a pain to get on runs. 2, 3, 4. But hopefully one of them will work quite nicely. No, not quite. Maybe there. Yes, nice. And it's probably time I actually introduce you to another mechanic, which is speed boosting. So normally when we quick save, quick load, Heather's speed kind of resets. If we were to sort of walk forward into a room like that, we get a slight speed boost. And provided I've done this right, we're going to traverse the out of bounds and actually leave the mall now. So it takes a few attempts for Heather to decide she wants to leave the mall, but she does it in the end. You know, she powers through. She does well with it. So yeah, as I said, before these skips, before this light skip, we would actually have to, do them all normally, and that's not fun. We don't want to do them all normally. We want to get through it fast. So normally there's a cutscene that plays here, but we've already had it, and we're going to just proceed through to the subway, and we've got another skip coming up. In total, I think what I'm about to show you is about 10 or 11 skips. There's one skip that we don't do in the run yet. It can be faster, but it's only fractionally faster. But because it's a marathon, because it's ESA, and we're doing this for charity, we're going to show off all the swag strats. Every last one of them. And what's even more swag is if you guys want to donate to help save the children, that's pretty cool too. So feel free to donate and share the love. So we've got another skip coming up. This is what we call a Tita skip. And the way it works is we want to quick save on a ledge. Hopefully I've done it first try. Nope. So quick save on a ledge before Heather falls, and then we're going to quick load in, and we're going to try our best to go out of bounds. And we've done it there. So hopefully I've got a bit of an audio cue here. I may have done this wrong. The great thing with these skips is we can load them in again. So I'm going to load in again because I've got myself a visual cue on the side there. I should see a little Dorito on the side. There we are. There's my Dorito. And we're going to just go back and finish the subway pretty quickly. So the way those skips work, they essentially, when we save Heather's coordinates of the map, they save at that particular location. When we load in, what happens is Heather kind of zips from the origin of the map and goes straight to the point where we saved at. If we aim our weapon and move forward, we actually manage to get out of bounds in a few places. Now, what I've just done there is a bit of a stamina reboost as well. So what that stamina reboost has done, it allows us just to go a bit faster. And there's a few areas where that's quite handy. First of all, that first mall skip we did, but also on the streets, which are coming up in about sort of 10 minutes' time. It's a bit far away, but, you know, I'll prepare you guys mentally for it. It's kind of like Silent Hill 2. You quick save to save stamina, but unlike Silent Hill 2, we actually have to load the game. So there's an extra step for Silent Hill 3. It's a more advanced game. We've got some unruly passengers on the subway car. We're going to just run past these. We don't actually kill anything in this run apart from the bosses. And we actually skip a few bosses, if I haven't mentioned that already. quite a few, well, 2 bosses. We skip one, and we skip a major one later on as well. A major story boss. And it's all really cool tech. I can't wait to show it off. So the subway car we're now done with, and we're going to enter the sewers. The sewers, we actually have to go and pick a few things up. So normally for the subway, what we'd pick up would be something like a shotgun. We pick up a few bits of ammo if we were doing normal new game. But because we're doing extra new game, we get to use really cool weapons. So you maybe saw me pick up a flamethrower. And interesting fact about the flamethrower, we use an enhanced flamethrower. And what that flamethrower does, it only unlocks after beating the 10-star category and having a save file with 10-star on it. So we actually insert a 10-star save file into our files to use this. It does a ton of damage. It will melt the bosses, as flames should, to be quite honest. So normally, this is our first sort of route deterioration. We'd normally go right, and we'd pick a wine bottle up normally. We're going to swag it. We don't normally do this in the run, because as I said, this potentially saves like 7 units of movement. But it's getting the timing right for it. So I'm going to quick save and quick load here, just to kind of de-aggro the enemies. And then we're going to quick save, quick load on the edge. Now, you probably saw me nearly teeter into the void there. What happens is, as we're on normal mode, if we keep our movement key pressed while Heather's teetering in certain spots, she will fall to her death. And that means run over, which we don't want. So there's our wine bottle swag. And we're going to leave the room. And we're going to go straight through to filling the wine bottle up with kerosene. I prefer wine in my wine bottle, but kerosene works as well. Just one of those things. Personal preference, really, I guess. So just a little bit more void traversal coming on through here. And we're going to menu right. And we're now going to do another bit of swag. This game has interesting hitboxes. Hopefully I get this first try, because this is pretty cool if we do. Ah, not quite. Give it another try. Okay, there's a hitbox there that we can hit early, if we're good enough. Unfortunately, I was at the wrong angle there, so it didn't quite work. So I kind of lied. I didn't do all the swag. I'm sorry. I'll take it back. But we do have another skip coming up. Again, skipping a major part of the sewers here, because normally you'd have to go and pick up a hairdryer. I mean, who puts a hairdryer in sewers anyway? Who's doing that? Who's caring for looks in the sewers? So we're going to skip that. We don't need that. We don't need that in our life. And we're doing another quick save, quick load skip here. If I get it right. And I didn't get it right. That might be okay there. This one can take a little few attempts. It's quite a finicky one to get. There we are, we got it. And yeah, we just skip straight past these. So it's kind of rude of me to kind of talk about these skips without actually talking about the people who kind of made these happen, because obviously, as speedrunners, we want to go fast, and it's definitely like a team effort. So quick shout out to Jokey and Soso and Shumpuck for sort of doing a fair bit of work on getting these skips sort of realized and working in the first place, because they killed the category with these. Killed it in a good way, in the way that we can go really fast. So big ups. And that's the sewers done. So the next bit we've got is the Hilltop coming up. There's a little bit of a break here. Do you have anything to read out?
Yes, I actually do have some donations here. We got $20 from Boris saying, grill a skill. We also have $15 by OSF saying, hi, Poppy, shoot those lasers and don't forget to win. And we also have another $10 by Safirel saying, Good luck, my pedigree chum. And I just quickly want to mention that all 3 of these donations were not allocated to any bid wars or incentives. And I just want to remind everybody watching, whenever you do donate, you can put your money towards one of our very cool incentives and bid wars. For example, the next one upcoming at like in a bit less than 2-3 hours is the Pokemon run, where you can still choose with the name for one of the Pokemon. So please keep that in mind whenever you do donate. And yeah, back to the run.
Excellent, thank you very much. Yeah, like I say, all for a good cause. And if you get to name a Pokemon for it as well, even better. So yeah, feel free to keep them coming in. So now we're in the Hilltop. And there's another pretty major skip coming up. We have to do the first bit of Hilltop quite normally. So I'm going to just run upstairs. We need to pick up a jack and a rope. We've got the rope already. And we're going to sort of combine these to get down an elevator shaft. So, normally you can explore quite a fair bit in here. You can get things like a katana. There's a lot of health drinks you can pick up. So there's one there, for example. But this category, we don't actually need to heal. I say that, I may take a safety heal, just in case. Because we actually use beginner mode for a fair bit of it. So what we're going to be doing with beginner mode is it helps us lower boss health really, really low, and allows us to kill them pretty quickly. We have to turn it off for a few skips though. So those monster out of bounds, we're not allowed beginner mode on. Well, we are allowed it, but the chances of going through the wall without beginner mode on are very, very small. So they're definitely needed. Now, we've had a hairdryer in the sewers. We've now got a bathtub in a office complex, which, unsurprisingly, doesn't quite work. So things are going to get a little bit dirty now, and we're going to try and escape the dirt very, very quickly. Normally, we'd meet a side character, Vincent, here. We don't need to meet Vincent. In fact, we don't meet Vincent at all in this run. We don't like him. No, we do, actually. I lied. We meet Vincent in the motel. It's not as seedy as that sounds. This is another skip. Again, this is one where we can actually fail, but we got that kind of first try with the quick save. So this skips us picking up things like the Oxydol, the pork liver, and the matches, which you normally need to use in a bucket to burn a painting and then get to this area here. So we skip that. Now we've just picked up a coin, and we're going to use our coin to use the vending machine and get ourselves a drink. If you guys want to use your coins to donate to Save the Children, that would also be pretty damn cool.
I second that, by the way.
I was working on that one all day. So we're going to make our way down to the final room of Hilltop, and then we're going to grab ourselves our first boss fight very, very shortly. We do have an unfortunate event about to happen. Our dearly beloved Harry Mason from Silent Hill 1. We're gonna see him. He's become a very holy man now. He's a man of God. I mean, he's gonna have a hole in him. He's not doing too well in this game, unfortunately. So that's Hilltop done. Heather doesn't know yet, but we know what's going to happen. So if you'd like to say some nice words about Harry Mason, feel free to. But what we're going to do is we're going to just skip past him, and we're going to end up burning his killer. So let's just make our way there through the Daisy Villa apartments. Now I should note, although we're playing Silent Hill 3, we're not actually in Silent Hill yet. We're about to go to Silent Hill, though. So brace yourselves, because it's about to get very rusty and very foggy. There he is. There's Harry. See you later, Harry. Now, we've already turned beginner mode on, so we're going to use our flamethrower. And this is where you're going to see a big old plume of fire. So this is our upgraded flamethrower. And that's our first boss fight done. he goes down pretty nicely. We flambe him quite nicely. So he's done. He's dealt with. And we can now make our way to Silent Hill, where Douglas, the character we meet in the mall, he's going to drive us like a very, very nice man that he is. So that's actually the first half of the game done. And that's pretty quick. This is where I'm going to talk a bit more about the stamina, because what we're going to do, you probably see my life bar at the top. The life bar is the yellow bar, and the green bar is our stamina bar. So we're going to quick save as it sort of reaches its end, and we're going to quick load. And what you're going to see is this is going to boost itself back up. For speed purposes, we want to make sure that never runs out, because we don't want to be running out of stamina. We don't want to be running slowly. So we're going to keep quick saving and quick loading that, and that's gonna help us out. So we do it sort of 3 times in these outside areas, and what we're going to do is also kind of cheese an enemy coming up as well, because we've got some pendulums. Those are those things that make that really weird grindy noise that a lot of people don't like. So we can kind of stop them making that noise for a little bit anyway. For a little bit. Do you have anything else to read out at the moment?
Yes, we got one more donation in. We got $15 by Imbue saying, Mr. McSqueezy is one of our own duck. I have no idea what that means, but I'm sure you do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of like inside jokes coming in with these last few donations.
Absolutely. We live for those inside jokes. So now we're in the hospital, and we've got to pick up a few items. We don't actually have any skips in the hospital. Unfortunately. Not yet anyway. Who knows what the future may bring for this game. But we've picked up our nail polish remover, and I'm actually going to show you another bit of new tech that was sort of recently unearthed. So you'll see my cursor on the screen. We've actually paused the IGT here. If I keep doing Alt space, what happens is we can bring up the real cursor, and then we put our code in. I won't do it all the time though, because what I want us to do is kind of get through it quite nicely. But just to show you a bit of tech that we can do there. Another bit of tech, quite cool. Normally you'd run up to this alarm clock and you would check the numbers on the clock itself. But I can see here that says 04 30 something. As long as I can tell the time right, I've got that right. So 04, I overshot it. 39, I think. There we are. So that was actually done in a run by a runner called Rajcast a couple years back. But recently, another runner called Airwick actually took one of the most recent 80% world records using that strat back in December, which was pretty cool. Kind of blew our mind when we saw that happen, because it was like, you could do that? We kind of forgot it happened and it existed. But we're going to speed our way through the hospital. We're going to use our nail polish remover, and we are going to eat ourselves... not eat ourselves, we're going to use the nail polish remover on the wall and grab ourselves a key. And we're going to equip our flamethrower as well, ready for the next boss fight. Who's going to be happening in about sort of... probably 5 minutes or so. The hospital is probably one of the most awkward places in this run. Because there's a lot of things that can go wrong here, and it's mainly to do with enemies. So things, we call them slurpers. We saw them briefly in Hilltop. They're those things that are kind of gangly and on the floor. 6957 is the code, by the way. 6957. We use that on the door at the very, very top. So 6957. I want to keep that in mind. If I forget it, we've got the memo, so it's fine. I can always read the memo. But 6957 should work. Six, 9, 5, 7. And I just realised we've got the the numbers 69 in there. So I can only imagine what's going on right now. So we're going to take a phone call.
I can summarize it for you.
Please do.
Nice.
Excellent. Fantastic. So that phone call that we took, that was from our next boss fight called Leonard. He was giving us a little bit of warning. He wants to let us know that he's ready for us. But what he doesn't know is that we've been preparing for the last 20 minutes to see him. And we're about to go into the Otherworld hospital. There's a little bit more going on here in terms of tech. So we have a quick save mechanic here. You probably noticed that as we run into that gate, we kind of stagger a little bit, or we don't quite go through. If we quick save, quick load it, we just remove the animation, and we save ourselves a nice couple half a seconds here and there, which is pretty cool. We like that. Now, this area is a little bit funky if you haven't played it in a while. Luckily, I've been doing a little bit of practice, so I can get through it nicely. It's not quite a maze, but the camera changes, if you're not used to them, can be a little bit odd. But thankfully, you can use the camera change button itself to help out a bit. And as you see there, I kind of misjudged that a little bit. So we're going to cut through here. Quick save again. And then we're going to get a little ladder section very, very shortly. It's quite a long ladder. Being a Konami game, I was going to learn the Snake Eater song. But you'll have to settle with the opening line, which is just simply, what a thrill. And also, fun fact about me, I can't actually sing. I'm kind of tone deaf. So there we are. What a thrill. It's not a Kojima game, but just imagine it in your head, and you'll have some fun there. So this little fellow here, he's just turning the valve. He's going to spin that wheel. I can't remember exactly why he's spinning the wheel, but it's kind of cool. Nice nurse just hanging out there as well. And we're going to enter Hell Hospital now. And we've got a few slurpers to get past. Now, with these slurpers, they are very problematic, because these will hit you. Because we're playing on normal mode rather than easy mode, what happens here is we get knocked down quite a lot. And we don't want to get knocked down. Getting knocked down is horrible. It loses us so much time. So this is why I often say that this part of the hospital is the absolute worst part to run through, especially when you're on a really good pace as well. But we've picked up a key. We're now going to pick up a blood pack. Sorry, a plastic bag. We're going to fill it with blood, though. And then we're going to... There we are. So our lovely friend, the Slurper, he wanted to say hello. He's missing out on the ESA action. He just wanted to have his little 5 minutes of fame there. So, hello, Slurper. We've got a few more here. That one might be a problem. No, he's good. You can normally tell by their positions if they're going to meme you or not, but oftentimes it just kind of happens. So we've now got the plastic bag with blood. A very, very key indication to make there. And we're going to make our way down to our next boss fight. Which, his name is Lenny. If you've run Silent Hill 3 before, or if you've seen runs of Silent Hill 3 before, you'll know that Lenny is a particularly problematic boss to deal with. Just because the meme is he'll just often swim sometimes. Also, swag room there. No knockdowns there. We often get hit there. So that's pretty good. So we're going to go downstairs and we're going to kill Lenny because we want to take something from him. So this boss fight, summarized as this, and that's it. That's all we have to do. He's gone, and we've got his seal of Metatron, which we don't actually use in the game, but we do need to pick it up. I believe on the HD collection, by far the best version of the game, by the way. Please check it out. You actually soft lock the game if you don't have that item, or if you have that item after a certain event. I might be getting that wrong, so I'll probably get told off later on, but yeah, we can grab that very early on in the HD collection, but too late on in the game, if that makes sense. Anyway, that's hospital done. We are going to make our way back to the hotel, and we're going to meet up with Vincent. Our first time meeting him in a hotel. Say what you will. Do you have anything else to read at the moment, just while we're in this little section?
Yes, sir. I got one more donation that is probably some kind of inside joke. So here we go. We got $10 from Death Tropes saying, "No first try skips?" ? Was that wrong? ? And their donation goes toward the Metal Gear Solid any percent the incentive where the runner upgrades from the easy difficulty to the extreme difficulty. So that's pretty high. Fantastic. Also, while we're at it real quick, I want to mention that we are a little bit more than $1,000 away from surpassing our total amount that we raised during ESA 2016, which was 31,584. And yeah, that would be quite the achievement, because for us Europeans, it just barely is Wednesday. For some of you, it probably is still Tuesday. So we're basically still at the start here of ESA, and we already surpassed like most of our previous events. So please keep those donations coming. All of them 100% are going towards Save the Children. So keep it up, guys.
Yes. Quick shout out to ESA as well for putting on a fantastic event, which has raised so much money so far as well. Incredible work that you guys do, and I'm very happy to be a part of it right now. So thank you for having me so far. So our next location is the amusement park. We are not going to be having much fun there. We're not going to be on any rides. Not today, anyway, because we're going to kind of skip the line, and we're going to just kind of get ahead of everything. So, the line I'm taking here, this road is quite interesting, actually. This road curves. And the reason I'm taking this particular line is because we actually hit a loading trigger quite early. So about here is when we get it. If we were to take a sort of further line there, the trigger is sort of diagonal. So that's the fastest way of getting to that time, or that trigger. And we've got a nice bit of RNG coming up. We've got to pick a key up in this room here, but we need to make the key drop first. So hopefully it drops pretty early. That happens sometimes. Sometimes it takes a while. It just kind of happens. That's one of those moments where I like to say thanks, Konami, on a run, if it was a particularly good run. But otherwise, it's all good. So we need that key to basically turn off the roller coaster, which if you start a new game, you'd normally die to the roller coaster at the start before you wake up in the mall. Because we're on extra new game, we actually end up skipping that bit entirely. So there is a bit of swag we can do here, though. If I unlock the door, you can actually get the trigger through there, but it was taking a little while, so I won't do it. On the PS2 version, you don't pick the key up at all, because the frame rate on the PS2 version is low enough, I believe, where you can hit that trigger through the window without needing the key. Incidentally, you can do some of these skips on PS2 as well. The Monster Out of Bounds in particular you can do on PS2. And HD Collection. Again, great arguments for them being great games, especially the HD Collection. I'm kind of memeing a bit on that, but I'm sure you all know that already. So another skip we've got here, and we're going to pick up a speed boost here as well. So I'm going to have to listen out for a nice little visual audio cue once we get there. Now, these skips are quite frustrating sometimes, because again, there's a little bit of frame perfection needed. You'll sometimes quick save on the skip where you think, yep, we've got it. Other times it won't happen. So hopefully one of these will go through. I'm just going to reposition myself slightly and try that again. It's okay because most skips went quite well. So the fact that this was the one that's gone wrong is quite normal, especially on runs. As I'm sure if you watch me normally, you'll know that this skip is sort of my Well, this skip and the Hilltop skip is kind of my kryptonite. I just kind of fall apart at them. So, just going to traverse the out of bounds now. We don't actually go through the Borley Haunted Mansion, which is a fun place to be in. But we don't need to see that anymore. We do not need to see that. So, any moment now, we should hopefully be on the right track to get our speed boost. I'm going to have to just come in here a little bit now, and there we are. So, we're listening for those footstep sounds. Those footstep sounds means we can quick save, because that means we're technically inside. So we go back to inside speed rather than outside speed. And we're going to make our way to a very, very major skip, which either makes you very happy or very sad, just because of what happens with it. So we do skip a fairly big bit of lore. The alessa fight, we don't actually do anymore. We skip it. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pause the game very quickly. I need to bring my OBS window up because I need to see where I am for the skip. And I'm going to go into my inventory. I'm going to turn beginner mode off. And I'm also going to equip the knife. Because what we're going to do here is hopefully get past this first try. I've got a save backed up there just in case things go wrong. What we're going to do here, I'm going to look at my OBS window. And I'm going to Alt-Enter to reduce the game's frame rate. The lower the frame rate here, the better. It just means we go through a bit faster. So your screen probably looks a bit funky. My screen looks funkier, and we got the skip. So I'm going to quick save and quick load. The reason I equip the knife is what we're going to do is we're going to quick turn and use a lunge attack to push through. And we've skipped alessa. There is no alessa. We don't fight her. We're going to do another little skip here. Nice, first try. So we're actually out of bounds in the out of bounds. Fun little fact there. If you were to carry on moving forward, you run into an invisible wall. So that little skip we did there, where we kind of aimed the knife and strafed into a hole, pushes us further out of bounds. So if you like the movie Inception, we're actually 2 levels of out of bounds deep right now. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty PogChamp. I can't believe I just said that in a marathon, but there we go. We're going to enter the church now, and the door trigger is actually really, really low. Now, I think I've got the wrong camera. Nope, we're good. And we're in the church. One more major skip coming up, and then we'll be at the end of the game, actually. Is there anything else that you'd like to read out?
Yes, sir. We got another donation here. We got $10 from Ordoc230. I hope I pronounced it correctly. Without a comment, but their donation also goes towards the Metal Gear Solid incentive to upgrade from easy to European extreme. This time I got it correct. And I quickly want to mention, by the way, because this hasn't been said in a while, that we have a few very cool prizes that you can win whenever you do donate. For example, our grand prize is, and some of you might not believe this, we actually got hold of a Sony PlayStation 5 with Ratchet & Clank Rifts Apart in like a bundle. And if you want to have a chance of winning that, which at this point is probably higher than getting one anywhere else, you get a chance by donating a minimum amount of $50, and that is cumulative throughout the event. So you can donate $5 10 times and you still be in for that one. That's our grand prize, and we have some other cool prizes. For example, we have a custom-made Switch Pro controller made by Spicy Frog. It's so cool. Please take a look at it. You can watch all the prizes if you go to prizes.esamarathon.com. And there you can see all the prizes and how much money is needed to get a chance for that. And yeah, back to the hill that is silent.
The Quiet Mound. So what we're doing here is we're doing another out of bounds using the church and the enemies in the church to push us out. Now, you may have seen me. I actually failed the first attempt there. The monster used a wrong attack for us, and it didn't quite push us through. So we had to kind of reset the room there. That's why I did a little quick save outside the room, just because I want to finish the run quite nicely. So what we're doing here is taking a very particular line. I should mention that we don't have the flashlight on, because if we have the flashlight on, the game will crash. Just because it's sort of, I think it's loading too many areas at once or something like that. I don't quite know how to explain it. But we do that. We don't pick up any tarot cards. And we are at the end of the game. So very, very shortly, if I get my line right, we'll be at the very end. And you'll notice that we're on no health at all. So with Silent Hill, if you go below 0, you die. Thankfully, we are on 0, so we stay alive. There's Vincent and Claudia. I haven't mentioned Claudia. She's pretty cool. She doesn't wear shoes. Fun fact. So we're going to turn beginner mode back on. We're going to equip our flamethrower. And then we're going to use the pendant, which we had at the start of the game. And time's coming up fairly quickly, actually. We're nearly done. So God's going to take a few flames. And that's going to be time. We've killed God. And yeah, so there's normally a bit of a few credits here. Just going to skip past these. So this game is kind of IGT timed rather than RTA timed. So see what time we got. I've got a 26:21, so 27:35 for a marathon. That's pretty good. I'm fairly happy with that. Just like to do a few quick shout outs if that's okay.
Sure,
first
go
of
ahead.
all, oh, thank you. First of all, shout out to the Silent Hill community for being just very lovely people in general. And big shout out to Denizzle. You set me on the speedrunning path in the first place, so thank you. Big shout outs to Saf, Death Tropes, Boris, Imbu, and So. You guys are all great, and I would not be half the runner I am today without you guys and your support. So thank you all very, very much. I appreciate all of you. And thank you, ESA, for having me. It's been really good. Don't forget to donate to save the children. And yeah, I think I'm all done.
Awesome. Thank you very much for this super cool run. Just so you know, you went under estimate by more than 10 minutes, so...
Oh, wow.
That's pretty impressive. And since we're a little bit behind, this is coming in very good for... I think the tech people are a fan of you right now. But before we leave, I still have 2 donations here that I quickly like to read. We got $5 from Mel saying, "Greetings! Silent Hill 3 is my favorite Silent Hill, so I needed to donate. Also, I'm a mother, so take my money. Wish I had more." Please, don't worry. Even the smallest amount can make a big difference. So thank you very much for that donation. And we got $50 by Chris Germany 83 saying, "Snake!" Thank you very much for that donation as well. And yeah, again, thank you very much, Mr. McSqueezy, for that excellent Silent Hill 3 run.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we will be jumping into a quick intermission. And when we come back, we will be seeing some return to... what's it called? Return to Castle Wolfenstein. There we go. Yes, that will be coming up in just a moment after some few messages. So please don't go anywhere. We will be right back.